back to Building TNT. I'm your host, Ravi Ratcharam, and in studio with us tonight, we have our guest, Mr. Zaheer Ali from the Zaheer Ali Foundation. And we could put the phone numbers up. We can put the phone lines up for you outside there to call in and share your story with us, identify some of the unsung heroes in your communities and those who go beyond the call of duty to make Trinidad and Tobago a better society. So Zaheer and I, we were chatting. He was telling us a little about the youth awareness and youth development and going into the schools, doing some work at the primary school level and at the different levels, Zaheer. So tell us, share with us, in that exercise of youth development, what stood out? What signaled to you? What was most outstanding in those exercises?
Well, Ravi, when you embarking on a program and you're looking at dealing with young people need to be excited about what they're going to receive. And when you have a program that encompasses international stars, for example, as I spoke earlier, the Bravo, the Ramdens, the Emirates, you find that
Zaheer Ali.
Well, at one point in time, you have these young people gravitating towards the program,
Yes.
So they're excited about these things. And what you have found is that when you tail-line something that has to be addressed to the youth.
And we have some calls on the line. So while we are having the conversation, we might as well take this first call that we have calling in tonight. Hello?
Good night.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
We are hearing you. We are hearing you loud and clear.
This is Pradeep Vishnu. You're supposed to know it.
Good night, Pradeep.
I'm calling to congratulate him on the initiative he took.
That's nice, man.
Thank you very much, sir.
And where you calling from, Pradeep?
Freeport.
You're calling from Freeport. And are you involved in any groups and societies also in the Freeport area?
Well, I'm the cricket coach in the Ministry of Sports,
Nice. Nice. So you are making your own contribution also towards making Trinidad and Tobago a better place.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for calling, Pradeep. And we'll keep the lines open we have another call on the line. Okay, yes, we have the calls are coming in fast and furious. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir. How are you?
Zaheer Ali Foundation.
Yes, we have Zaheer Ali from the Zaheer Ali Foundation here in studio tonight.
Yeah, I'll listen right now. Can I get through this? Mr. Zaheer Ali.
Yes, sir, I'm hearing you. Speak.
Yes. Mr. Zaheer Ali, I'm very proud of you for your foundation that you have done.
You're breaking up a little, sir. We're not hearing you too clear. We just heard you congratulating Zaheer Ali. It looks as though that we have lost that one. Yeah, we have another call on the line. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Ali, Mr. Zaheer Ali.
Pleasant good evening to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Two great champions are watching there. Because I see Mr. Ratcharam there, he have a wonderful organization, Building TNT. And, we watch it at you, Mr. Ali, where the good works that you are doing. Like myself, I am one of the president of Val St. Trace Action Community. And, we must be our brother's keeper. Look out for, as what Ratcharam trying to bring to the public there. So we must all come together and build this beautiful country, Trinidad and Tobago, build this nation, because, all over the world, people know Trinidad and Tobago is a land of paradise. And I'll bring a very short thing to we, like yourself, Mr. Ali, we do participate in cultural work and also sporting arena for the kids and so forth. And, we do a lot of community work where we have also medications. We also have the community come together as a monthly basis where we do have other organizations, the ministries and the business society contribute things like foodstuff, medication, and clothes. And it's really, really good. Also working with the police. I don't want to say anything too much about, because people don't say, this guy is a sort of an informer. But no, we must look out for our community, because working with the police, we get a very good response. We see the youths and them choose restraining drugs, and going in crime. They come out. Now we, thanks to the Ministry of Sports, we get them in a sporting gear. Also, we some of the youths and them who not working, we could get certain program. Like right now, we have a
nice
welding workshop, and we're looking for more space to see if we could expand that with masonry, carpentry,
That
even
welding
sewing for the
workshop,
ladies.
that
We have
welding-
a small thing where we're doing cooking and so forth. But this is what we're talking about, serving the people, the continuance of progress to go forward. And as I say, what Ratiram say, building TNT will make
Nice,
this place
man.
go forward in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller, for calling in there. We heard from the Valsane Action Group.
Well, I thank you very much, caller, and I say to you on Trinidad and Tobago, I reiterated that, my arms are open wide to receive Trinidad and Tobago in moving forward in building Trinidad and Tobago as our show reflects.
Yes, thank you. So Zaheer, we were chatting a little. You were telling us in terms of what stood out there at the school. We were talking about the national, international heroes like Ramdin and Dinesh and Zaheer Ali going to the schools there.
Well, Ravi, what you find is that when we look at Trinidad and Tobago, it's like a product, and those of us who have been involved in marketing, there's the 4 P's of marketing. Sometimes you may have an ideal product.
Yes.
But you have to find persons who can promote it, those who can package it,
Right.
and those who can get it and sell it to the public.
Yes.
And when you find that, sometimes you have a fantastic product, but if you, as I said earlier, if you don't have the proper structure and system to execute it, you find that it doesn't receive the level of success that it's supposed to receive.
Right.
So when you find that you have a program that is, looking at the police intervention, the medical intervention, talking about the use of drugs, talking about the criminal gang and intelligence unit coming to do lectures about deterring persons from criminal gang activities, you find that in order to sell that effectively, you need a face of an international icon, someone who the young people can gravitate towards, who they know.
Resources.
Exactly. And this is where putting programs together, and I want to, congratulate other foundations, but to urge them that they must be very sensitive in how they tailor their programs in terms of ensuring that they measure the success in terms of the programs that they are executing.
Well, evaluation is an important part of the process also. Evaluating,
Yes.
evaluation in terms of customer feedback and self-evaluation at
Yes.
the end of a period. It's important.
Yes.
That you're very correct.
But Ravi, if I may take this opportunity on the program to also, why we may be talking about the Zaheer Ali Foundation and the building Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of both you and I and maybe all the other professionals, I want to say to all the foundations in Trinidad and Tobago that
Yes.
you all have a role to play in Trinidad and Tobago. And I hope and pray, I'm making a call that one day we'll see that we have a foundation day in Trinidad and Tobago where all the NGOs, all the stakeholders who are involved in development could come together to execute a program that will be of national interest, of national importance, and will foster building Trinidad and Tobago.
Definitely, Zaheer. And as you say that, I want to recognize some of our guests that will be coming in the future. Miss Deborah Atwell from the Foundation for Life. Deborah Atwell is doing a lot of positive things up in the Arima area. Also, we have Moms for Literacy up in the Barataria Sawa region. And what Moms for Literacy does, they provide a motherly, caring, nurturing approach to the children around that area to assist in their homework, in literacy, assist them in reading. Like we have the ALTA group, the Adult Literacy Group, and we have a lot of volunteers who come forward and volunteer to assist adults in becoming better readers. And so amongst us, we have so many different groups and individuals too. Like yourself, last week we had Inspector Shabadi here in studio, Inspector Shabadi and the St. James Police Youth Club. We recognize the work that our policemen do on a daily basis, risking their lives, willing to sacrifice their lives to protect and to serve this nation, and the contribution that these guys make towards building TNT. We spoke about the CPAP workers earlier. We talked about the doctors, the teachers. We were talking about the school. And the principals and teachers in school stood out. I understand some of the schools that you did the lecture and they want you to come back.
Well, definitely, that's something that has really, basically encouraged me in terms of to see the level of feedback that we got from all stakeholders, the teachers, the principal, the students themselves, and it's very encouraging to see that. And coming in the near future, I'll be looking forward to execute further programs. But I want to say to you, just like you mentioned, Ravi, that everyone in Trinidad and Tobago has to see that there's a duty and a responsibility that lies with them for the development of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago belong to all of us. And it is once said that as professionals, as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, if we are not impacting the environment positively, then we need to search ourselves.
Yes. Yes, we definitely need to look at what was happening, because the environment affects us in how we operate, how we go about in our day-to-day lives.
Yes.
And sometimes it also requires an initiative of oneself. Instead of waiting for something to happen, it requires an initiative of oneself to get up and to go and to get. Recently we saw the flooding that we experienced along the Manzanilla coast and the Mayara coast. And I have to compliment Mr. Ronald Ford and the PTSC, which I am part of, that stepped into the conversation, without having been called upon specifically. And our minister, our leader there, Mr. Kadies, stepped into the conversation, Chairman Dr. Lass, and the entire team of the PTSC came to serve, to transport the school, the children, to transport the doctors, because that was the conversation actually Dr. Reddy and I was having about the doctors down in Rio Claro and coming from Grandy, and people from Mayaro have to reach into Port of Spain along that route. And the PTSC we saw came into the conversation right away and was proactive in contributing towards improving the quality of life of others. And there are so many other state enterprise in the country that contributes, conglomerates, big business that has a wonderful corporate social responsibility side of them, that they all give back and they contribute towards all the different groups and the clubs in the society.
Well, I like that word you use, Ravi, in terms of proactive. And I think that proactive, we have to really make proactive, frequent in our statements, in our speech and our vocabulary. And when you take and you adopt a proactive approach, it means that you're anticipating and basically preparing for what you have to receive. So I think that's a critical word. And I think that, again, engaging Trinidad and Tobago, that, we have to adopt a student approach in everything that we do. And once we adopt a student approach, it means that we're going to continue the process of learning. None of us actually know everything. We will never learn anything. We'll never know everything, But we have to continue to seek information, to seek knowledge, to seek experience. That's the only way we're going to correct society.
True. So folks, we're going to continue the conversation in a short while. We need to get some messages from some of our folks that contribute towards Win TV. So don't go too far. We're going to be right back and continue the conversation. We're going to have the phone lines open up back in a short while. So we're going to be right back with you.
Where do we go?